Yo, what up, everybody? About to go live with Cros from Freestyle Session. This one's gonna be a banger. What's going on, Cros? What up, babe? Stilo. Let's see. Let me see if I can grab you. Hey, Cros, can you request to join the video? Request to join the video. Invite. Let me see. I'm gonna invite you. All right, we got it.
What up?
What's up, Cros?
I just set up my things because I was running out of battery.
Okay, cool. You ready right now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, Cros. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while because you got the freestyle session definitely going on, and kind of wanted to help you promote that.
All right.
You know, and there were just like a few things that I wanted to share with you. The first one was I got a story to tell you. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So there was a jam in San Diego, that I heard about, and I was down with the crew called Lunacy.
Mm.
And I think it was at this place called I think it was called the Red Line Hotel or something like that.
Yeah, I was
Was it Winter Wars?
something like that.
Yeah.
Like a dance.
So they told me
It's like a dance contest.
yeah, it was a dance contest. So they told me, they said, yo, you can get down with Lunacy, but we're gonna battle a crew. And I said, what's the name of this crew? And they said they're called the Delivery Boys. And I was like, all right. So I drove all the way from Madera to San Diego. And then when I get there, I see you showcasing. You were doing flares. I think you had like the black shirt and you had like the khaki pants on. And the battle didn't even go down, but that was the first time that I ever came across you.
Or
You remember that night?
yeah. There's actually video of our showcase.
Yeah, cause I had put it up on YouTube. I remember that. Like I remember your solo, And I just want to ask you, Carlos, how did you get started into breaking? Because that was '93.
I used to break in like 83, 84 too. Like just for like a year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a half or so, like everybody was doing it back then, if you're my age.
Yeah.
So like I mean I was in fourth grade. I had older homies that were doing it. Yeah, man, I was in a crew called Rock City Juniors. So I was like
Oh, Rock City Juniors?
Yeah, like a younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I remember that night there was a crew that I thought was really dope, was B-Boy Alliance, because they kind of had like the rock steady style, and I was really amazed by them, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I wanted to know like what was B-Boy Alliance history to San Diego?
They were around the resurgence. So like B-Boy Alliance was like an alliance of a bunch of crews that like had that mentality. So like Saki and them were in that crew, and then some guys from El Cajon, which is like kind of around the way near my area, like more East County.
Right.
And then yeah, it was like East Swift was in it, a couple other people, but yeah, they were kind of like on the. I think B-Boy Alliance kind of eventually became like, it didn't eventually become Rock So Fresh, but that
Oh, okay.
kind of like a similar style,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that
both. So
yeah, I remember they used to have like they had the berets, they had like the barrettes,
yeah.
and they had the T-shirt that said like B-Boy Alliance, and I remember they were basically like a footwork crew.
Yeah, no, they were like more foundational B-boys, you know what I mean? One of
Yeah.
one of the main guys, this guy Chalo, he lives in Vegas, and he'd be popping
Okay.
in Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's dope, man. Also another thing too is like the rhythm bugs though. Like how did that even get started? Because I heard some stories from different people, and I wanted to know like how did the rhythm bugs get started?
Well, Rhythm Bugs was just like after Foot Soldiers. So Foot Soldiers was
Oh, foot soldiers. Okay.
I had met the Foot Soldiers when I was in Delivery Boys, and we actually went to Reveal and his brother's house, like right around the corner. Like they live like
Okay.
right around the corner, like by my house. And me and my boy Donnie, we went over there and we practiced with them, and they were like bugging out on how good we were, but we were bugging out on how
Yeah.
they were because they're. And then eventually, they just kept doing their thing, man, and recruiting more members. And we took like a little short hiatus. I'd say like 6 months hiatus where we weren't really practicing and stuff. And in that
Yeah.
time, those guys got way better, like Foot Soldiers. And then we battled them, and then they actually beat us. And we were like, damn, we
Mm.
used to be, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so nah, we were always cool with them. And then like Delivery Boys kind of died out after a while, and then I started like practicing with guys in Riverside and stuff. And then
Okay.
I ended up getting my revenge on Foot Soldiers at Jam with Secret Wars, guys from Riverside. And then yeah, and then I started Freestyle Session, and those guys were they had more stuff to like gun for. So they I think Rhythm Bug started right before Freestyle Session 5.
Okay.
They just wanted a different flavor, you know.
They just wanted a different name, right? I got you.
I think it was pretty much the Foot Soldiers, but
Okay.
they have been around a lot.
Yeah. You know, Cross, I remember too when I was I think it had to be like around 97.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking on Melrose and I remember Poe worked at Workman's Outlet and there was a bunch of flyers and I seen the flyer said freestyle session. But when I thought it said freestyle session, I thought it was like this MC. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go to an MC event. I didn't even know it was like your event because I see somebody on the mic and it said freestyle session. And what made you want to come up with freestyle session? What was the idea for freestyle session?
Well, B-Boy Summit had left San Diego, so
Yeah.
there was kind of a void there for as far as a big event. Like we had we had Secret Wars at the time, and then I helped do the last one, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna just do my own event, and then I did my own event, and everybody kind of helped me, and then yeah, man, I never really set out to be like the next B-Boy Summit. I was just kind of like, I just want to do a jam so more people will come practice, because I had noticed that when there was a jam coming up, everybody wanted to practice all of a sudden, you know. So
Yeah.
so in the beginning, I was doing freestyle session every 3 months, so nobody ever stopped going to practice. A couple of years,
Mm.
and then yeah, man, after I did the first freestyle session, I started coming to practice, and the numbers started going. And in that time, man, it was like you said, it looked like an MC thing, but I had an MC room
Yeah.
there. I had an MC room there. I had like artwork on the walls, like, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot going on at the event, so it wasn't just breaking, but breaking just kind of like took over because I was a b-boy. So you know what I mean? Like it's gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I got you. That's pretty cool, Cross. Thank you for sharing that too. So in the last couple of years, you know, with the pandemic and everything, like what's been kind of like been going on with your life since like all the breaking events was like on hold, like what was you doing to like to keep yourself like motivated or basically just survive? I was kind of curious about that.
Well, I had a lot of side hustles during like before the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
a few years ago, I just kind of got to the point where I was like, man, I'm not really doing crazy dope with breaking. You know what I mean? So like, um, I was doing the clothing and stuff and my website, but I had nighttime I would DJ, and then on the weekends I would DJ, and then the daytimes were pretty much left open. So I had a homegirl. She started doing deliveries and stuff, and she put me on, and she was like, yeah, I make like $20 an hour. I was like, oh, I'll take $20 an hour on my day
Oh.
time off. So I started doing that.
Yeah.
I started finding more apps, and then I started doing more shit, and then since I
Oh, I
did
got
that,
you.
I was driving around in my Lexus, and my Lexus was burning up gas. So I bought another car, and my Lexus was just sitting. And then I started renting out my car because
Oh, okay.
I used to use this app called Turo to rent cars. And then like I started renting out cars, and then I started doing that on the side while I was doing DJing and breaking. And then yeah, during the pandemic, man, like I just kind of stepped up on all those fronts, and then those just became my main hustle for a second. And now, we're kind of withering back, but I built up like my rentals. I got like 6 cars now.
Oh
I
man, all right.
don't really do deliveries too much anymore. I'm more like just delivering cars now. Yeah,
Okay.
all the stuff I was doing on the side kind of helped me to where I'm now. And then also, on the back end, like for breaking stuff, like we never stopped working. Like we were doing, I run the pro breaking tour and UDEF, the nonprofit. So,
Okay.
we're just doing a lot of things on the back end where we set up a partnership with Break Connect to do the registrations and stuff for events. Just
Hmm.
talking to all the promoters, keeping them motivated, getting their minds racing for things, once everything opens up. Talking to sponsors, all that jazz. So keeping the
Yeah.
we have a partnership with like Stance Elements, so keeping all the footage up and just just keeping everybody motivated and the scene moving forward.
True. I
Yeah.
like that. With this year freestyle session, are you doing? Is it going to be crew on crew? Is it going to be 2-on-2, or like what's going on with that?
Yeah, it's a 5-on-5.
It's a 5-on-5.
Yeah, so I basically did that just because we were doing 3-on-3 before, and then I wanted to take an extra step, do 5-on-5, and then next year we're gonna do full crew battles again.
Okay.
Because
Somebody had asked me. Oh, I'm sorry.
next year is our 25th anniversary, so I wanted to bring back the 2 crew battle for the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody had asked me the other day, are you going to have a top rock battle this
Nah,
year?
we're not planning on that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I kind of brought in the 40 and up battle, so that kind of brought in another element to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
maybe when everything gets back to normal, I might bring it back to Top Rock Battle, because that was actually a pretty dope vibe in that room.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it.
we're doing 5-on-5. We're doing 40 and up for the older generation. We got a kids battle, which is 15 and under, and then we have the open styles and the pop-in. So we have several
Okay.
categories.
Yeah. Hey, Cross, I remember when I came to your house with Monkey. This is probably like 2000. Oh man, I'm thinking 2004 or something like that. And I remember Billy Bell.
Yeah.
Billy Bell was I think he was staying with you, and I was kind of curious, like, what was you guys' relationships? Were you guys best friends in school?
No, I actually met Billy Bell. He actually snuck into Freestyle Session 1 and
Okay.
he filmed my event and then put it in one of his VHS tapes.
Yeah, because he was a rollerblader though, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty OG rollerblader. He was big in the scene. He like made up a couple moves, and like he's like a, as big as like Iron Monkey and these Reveal guys are in breaking, like Billy Bell was that in rollerblading. So it's crazy that
Yeah.
he put out videos just like we put out videos. And then when I had heard that somebody from San Diego put freestyle session footage in their video, got the video, and then I had
Oh, okay.
number on the video. He answered the phone. I was like, "Yo, is this Billy Bell?" He's like, yeah. I was like, "Yo, you put my footage on your video, dude." And then, and I was just like, "Yo, I don't care, but like, yo, let's help each other out. If you know how to edit
Right.
if you know how to edit videos, I do events all the time, so maybe I could hire you to do my videos." And then that's how we kind of met. We met up, and then he started videos from like, I want to say 3 or 4 on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I was kind of curious, like, what was his thing with the teeth though? Because every time
that was his
he had like
alter
the
ego.
crazy.
That was his alter ego. So like like if Zev Love X has MF Doom, like Billy
Right.
Ryan Bell was his nickname. Billy Bell was his alter ego.
Okay.
Yeah. So he,
Yeah, kind of was
when he
always
went
bugging out on this.
when he went to the events, he would be Billy Bell, Billy Badass Bell. He'd wear the teeth, and then a lot of people thought that that was two different people, but it was actually him.
Yeah.
It's just like you know,
Yeah.
like Humpty and the dude from Digital Underground.
Shock G and
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, I got you. It was an alter ego.
yeah.
Yeah. Who are some of the top b boys that you like today though, Cross? Because I know like we can reminisce on the '90s, but is there anybody today that you really like?
There's a bunch of kids that I like, you know, like I I get asked all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, Zeku's dope. You know,
I,
not only just for breaking, but just in business and life, you know, he's kicking some real shit. So, you know, people, all the younger cats, if you want to like follow somebody, follow that kid, you know. And then also like you know, Shige kicks is pretty dope. I like Issei back in the day, but he's kind of like, I wouldn't say he fell off, but he's just kind of like got a little older. But Shige kicks is like
yeah.
dude, and then like you know, those are my main guys. You know what I mean? There's cats coming up all the time, man. And like even though like the little kids from like Russia and Japan, like
Yeah.
E and what's the name that does the 90, like man, crazy. Bumblebee's dope from Russia, like you know,
That's what I was about to say. I like
I
Bumblebee and Nor Diamond.
or Diamond's dope. You know, like there's so many, man. Shosei from Japan is dope. There's so many kids, dude. Like there's so many. But what's up, Kathy?
Yeah.
Sister's on. She's in Hawaii, lamping.
Okay. You know what, Cross? I know a lot of a big girl that people don't even really talk about. Maybe you can explain her history too. Is Breeze? Wasn't Breeze from San Diego?
Yep, that was the homegirl.
Yeah, tell me about Breeze though, because I know I seen her at the Radiotron. I think it was the Radiotron in '95. She did like the Turtles, and everybody went crazy at the Radiotron.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what was her history to breaking?
She was just the local homegirl in Chula Vista. She used to go to practice with us, and then she started traveling with us. She went to Rocksteady Anniversary with me. She went to Vegas. She used to roll. She used to mob everywhere with us. You know what I mean? And yeah, she had skills, dude. She had footwork both ways back then, which you know back then it was like
Yeah,
footwork both ways. It was like a big deal, you know. And she had a little bit of power moves, windmills, crab walks, you know. I mean, it was
yeah.
a deal, man. Like I thought, you know, at the time she was probably one of the better B girls anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't too many girls that could really get with her, you know?
I remember that she was tall, and
Yeah.
I just remember like she would always be hanging out with you guys, and I was kind of curious. I was like, I wonder whatever happened to her. Is she what's
She's
like
still
what's her
around.
deal?
She's still around. She does like CrossFit and like she's a waitress at one like a sushi spot, like not
Okay,
far away from here. Yeah. She's around. I see
yeah,
her at the store randomly and she's just like, "What up, Cross?" So and
okay,
she used to live at my pad too, because you know, like I said, when in like 99, 2000, my parents and all my family they went to Japan and left me the house, so I had to pay rent and stuff, and like
everybody was
started
there,
moving
huh?
people in. I had like people like living in all the other rooms and the couch, like, and everybody just kind of pitched in, and we just, you know, we just had like the
I remember that though, bro. Vietnam, Iron Monkey,
yeah,
Manson, like everybody was at your house though, bro. I used to hear all these stories about your house was like
it
it
was
was
like the
like the
hub,
place though, you know what I'm saying?
like the hub.
Yeah,
We even
I
like
remember.
out the kitchen and the garage, and there was both like, you know, the actually not the kitchen, the dining room. The dining room, we kept the carpet in there, and that's where we practiced all our hard moves. And then in the garage was a little bit harder concrete, so we would just go in there and we laid the linoleum down and did just regular, you know, catch and wreck in there, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For a lot of the new generation, a lot of people they probably don't remember when you used to break though. Like what actually made you slow down from breaking? Because I remember a time when I would go to see clothes and all that stuff though, you know?
I got like injured in like 2000 at B-Boy Summit. So I was like,
Oh, you got injured. Okay.
yeah, I was in the ciphers and I kind of like popped my knee. So it started giving me troubles. And at the time, I didn't have like health insurance. So
Hmm.
it would have been too much to like do surgery, and I was getting more into the way, so I just kind of like grinded out on doing the business and promoting and distribution video, just networking. So I took a little bit off, and then maybe a year later, after I got all fully healed from my knee, tried to break again, and I gained a little, just
I thought you had like a neck injury though from doing head spins though for some reason. I thought it was a neck injury.
yeah, it was my knee, and then
It was your knee.
actually, yeah, that like from my knee, uh, recovering from that, and then I tried to go back to judo because I used to do judo, and
Oh yeah, I remember
first
that.
first practice back, I like broke my toe, like literally
Oh
dislocated,
shit.
boom, like it was like this, and I had to like put it back, and
Oh
then
man. Okay.
and everything was good there, but I couldn't really dance, and then yeah, man, like, and then like a couple years later, I ruptured my Achilles, like,
Oh, the Achilles. Yeah, I know about
yeah,
the Achilles.
random scuffle downtown, just some drunken shit, and a year later after that, I ruptured it again in Poland during
Oh.
a judge's close, man. I don't care what you say, I'm not doing it.
Did you ever have surgery on any of that?
I got surgery on the second one, and then the first one actually fully healed by itself without doing surgery, and it actually feels way better than the one that I got surgery on. So, like, really, I would tell anyone if they rupture their Achilles, I would get really good help in really good hospital that's accustomed to doing stuff like that, or just let it heal on its own, because
You know what, Cross? I snapped my Achilles like back in 2009,
yeah,
and I was hurt for about a year and a half,
uh,
and I thought it was it. I thought breaking was done, and eventually it healed back on its own. I didn't even go to see a doctor or anything because I didn't
no,
have
you,
insurance.
you did the better thing. So you got back on your feet like later than you would have if you would have got surgery, but in the long of it all, like you're not going to have no more problems with it. Like whereas,
Yeah, I haven't had any problems
yeah,
with it.
whereas the one that I actually got surgery on, I was up after a little bit more like faster than the one I didn't, but I'm having troubles like at least once a year or once every 2 years, it flares up real bad to where I can't even walk for like at least a week.
Oh man,
Yeah, dude, it gets bad. It's crazy.
yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Cross, I wanted to ask you about this battle because I know that you was there when all you guys came from San Diego and LA, and I guess you guys got to Miami,
Mhm.
and I guess somebody had called out Reveal. Or can you tell me about that battle? Like, how did that battle started when they basically was calling Reveal a biter and they started battling on the concrete?
What, Pro-Am?
Yeah, the program.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got there kind of late, but yeah, a lot of
Okay.
Miami was like trying to say that, but I think a lot
Yeah.
of people was just hating. It was known
Yeah.
knowledge. It was known that he was influenced by K, and I mean, honestly, like I think some people got shit off of Reveal too. So I mean, it is. Reveal had a lot
Oh
of those
yeah.
moves. He had a lot of those moves before. He was already doing all that stuff like hollow backs and like
Right.
he's seen the flavor. He's seen the b-boy flavor with Migas and K, and after he's seen those guys, he just put it together, dude. He got the formula,
Yeah.
and then he rocked his own way. And you know what? That dude, he continually evolved his style. So like I thought it was very unfair that people even to this day like say stuff about him, but like he doesn't even break anything like that anymore. So I mean, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
He keeps making up new shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and all these other people, they ain't around or they're not fucking with him like on that level, you know what I'm saying? So all those people that say
Yeah.
shit, like, I mean, that's just my dude, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta speak for him sometimes, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember when Reveal would show up to the place though, bro, and people they'll yell out biter, and he would just be like in the bleachers just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
But guess
But
what?
when it came down,
Guess what? He ended up battling for his, and what happened?
true.
You know? And I love both of
Yeah,
those, and I love all those guys. You know, like it's just competitive. You know, when we was younger, it's like you just say shit to irritate people, and that's just is what it is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
As long as we're having
I know what you're saying.
fun, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
uh, yeah. Cross. Too. You know, like looking back on all the years of breaking, you know, that you've experienced, I've experienced.
mm,
What advice would you give to like people in the b-boy scene? Because a lot of people put all their dreams and their hopes into breaking, and sometimes they don't pan out the way that they do.
mm.
And I want to know, like, from your point of view, like, what would you say? What advice would you give to like the newer guys that want to like say, you know what, I'm gonna be the best b-boy in the world, and I'm gonna get sponsored, and it doesn't work out that way? Like, what would be Plan B?
You know, it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? But I definitely think you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. You know, like
Yeah,
definitely get an education. You know, if um, and like they go to college, but like just educate you finance literacy and just knowing about credit, time management, you know, how to leverage, you know, stuff, stacking assets and all that stuff. Like, you know, I tell a lot of b-boys, man, like if you're not, if you can't pay for health care, if you can't pay for, you know, retirement, if you can't pay your taxes, you know, and all the things that adults are supposed to do, then you're just doing a glorified hobby. You know what I mean? So you need to find something else that's going to make up for that, whether it be side gig or something supplemental. Like for me, like I started DJing, and you know, like I said, I was doing deliveries. I started renting out cars. Like, no, you got to find out what works for you. You know what I mean? You know,
hmm,
b-boys, there's a lot more different things to get into. Like, you don't necessarily have to always just battle. Teach. You could do workshops. You know, you could do youth stuff. Like, you know, you could be, you know, work for a YMCA or a gym or whatever. You know, what I mean, like so many different things.
yeah.
Like, I would get into physical fitness. Like, you know, like look at Flowmaster, man.
That's what I think.
He makes
Yeah,
money training like, you know, stars. Like, there's so much to it. I see a lot of people being artists, like doing tattoos. Like, you know,
yeah.
you got to see where the money is, or you know that gives you that life that you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Hmm.
something that could travel with you, or you can take it anywhere around the world. You know, a lot of people too, man. They see these b-boys in like Asia and Europe, where you know where you know the cost of living isn't so much, and yeah, they're making a living out of it. But like, look, man, if you live in New York or California,
Oh,
not gonna make enough to like really survive unless you're like the top like 0.01% of the b-boys and b-girls worldwide. You know what I mean? And like you say, got that sponsorship and got the time to be able to do all that. You know, so
yeah,
just there's so much to digest to be able to figure all that out. But yeah, just get your education and just educate yourself on all these adult things. You know what I mean? And just because it's stuff that they don't teach at school. You know, they don't teach time. They don't really teach time management and like credit and like you know money and you know business. Like they don't teach that stuff. I mean, unless you take a business class or time management class.
yeah. I noticed in breaking, yeah, like I wasn't taught anything about money management. I wasn't taught anything. I was just like, go to Radiotron, go to Best of the Best.
Well, you know
Um,
what? When you're younger, when you're under like 19 or 20, like that's just stuff you don't really care to know. You just enjoying life, you know.
yeah, I
Even
remember. Yeah,
for school, like
you
I
just
went to
enjoy
school,
life.
you know, I went to school because like my pops was like, if you're gonna live under this roof, you're either gonna be working full time or you're gonna be going to school. And I was like, all right, cool. So I had to do one or the other.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
that's true. That's true,
But I
man.
feel like I learned more when I took off from school and like actually, you know, live life. You know, going to Japan out there, um, and experiencing life and getting
Mhm.
different aspects too, in different countries and all that. So I say travel and go get out there and you know soak it all in and pay attention. You
Yeah,
know?
that's so. Yeah, a lot of people say get a passport, so you can get out of California and see other things though too. You know.
Yeah.
And I noticed back in the day, like you were traveling like all over the world, and I used to think to myself, like every weekend, like you're in a different country, and I used to think like, you know what I'm saying? You'll be like in the Poland, Switzerland. I used to think to myself like, this guy's really I commend you on that because you were living the dream though, and a lot of people don't get the chance to see all the places that you see and to love what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I still do, you know, like, I mean, I figured it out, like, you know, like being able to come out, you know, like I made like spin hats and t-shirts and videos and, you know, selling all that stuff on the road, like helped facilitate being able to travel, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
eventually when I, you know, got my event and, you know, it started making noise and I was able to, you know, work with other promoters around the world and, you know, they're flying me out to the event and then paying me to use the event name and whatever, you know,
yeah,
it just helped facilitate all that stuff. You know, I'm not out to try to make $1 million, which, you know, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but you know, like I'm just trying to live life and have fun in the process
yeah.
and create opportunities for these dancers and elevate the game, you know. And
Hmm.
you know, I was probably at one of the people pushing it in the forefront, and then now I'm just kind of like seeing a lot of other people, you know, take the torch and running with it, or also pushing the boundaries, and now I'm re-inspired to elevate our game too here in the U.S. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
With breaking going into the Olympics, I wanted to ask you, like, how's that really going to work? Because if it's going to be a sport, are they going to play a DJ? Are they going to have a DJ too, or is it just going to just be like they just
If
go out
anybody has
and
any
they just do power moves?
if anybody has any question on how it's going to be, like just watch the Youth Olympics that happen, you know, in Buenos Aires. That'll answer most of your questions. Yeah, there's a DJ. Yes, there's official judges from the community, you know, and all the countries have their participants and they all have their coaches and yeah, man, like it's like a normal event. It's just, you know, it's a little bit more sport like, which, you know, there's a couple events in the US that are kind of like that already. Um, and yeah, man, it's not going to be any different. It's not going to be like, I know the first thing that people think about when they think about the Olympics is like, oh, it's going to be like gymnastics, but no, it's going to
Yeah.
be like, no, it's going to be like breaking. It's going to be like,
Okay.
why wouldn't it be anything other than breaking? Because it's breaking. It's it's just
Right.
the sport breaking, I guess. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not like too all head into it, and like I'll just be super honest. Like that's, you know, the Olympics was not my dream. Like I never envisioned like, oh, it's going to be in the Olympics. But now that it is, I'll definitely do my part to make sure that it's a success and you know, help facilitate that along. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for answering that. I was kind of curious because I don't know how it's going to work, you know, and I'm thinking that it's going to be like where they just got like the guys out and they do a bunch of moves and then people just kind of like
Yeah.
give it like a 7.0
People
or
kind of let their
9.0.
people kind of let their thoughts on the matter like just run away. You know, like is it going to be different? Is it going to be different categories? Is it going to be most windmills and who does the fastest? And nah, man, it's going to
Yeah.
be battles, dude. It's the one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, man, just
Yeah.
watch the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires, and that was the reason why
Okay.
the success of that is actually what made the Olympics, the real Olympics, happen. So, and I was actually
Okay.
a board member for the Youth Olympic Games for that, and man, the team slam dunked it. You know what I'm saying? Like Thomas from Battle of the Year was the main guy that did all the production for it, and we kind of chimed in as far as who's going to judge and who's going to do this, who's going to do that, and then now you see like Break for Gold USA. That's like the U.S. conglomerate. You know, that's the voice of the U.S. to make sure that whoever's doing events in the U.S. or whoever's judging or whoever's DJing, those are all inputs from these people. You know what I mean? So that's why you
Mm.
the the rollout of the name. Those are the in charge. You know what I mean? Those are the guys. Those are the people you want to voice your concerns to, not the Olympics and not in the air.
Okay.
You know, like those are the people that are going to be, you know, leading the way. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. I wanted to share with you too. So we're looking at maybe like I'm saying like 91, 92. I get a VHS tape and I'm playing it and it's real fuzzy and I'm looking at the copy and I see somebody like they're doing like the groovers, like grooving in the garage or the house style. And I would ask somebody like, what's the name of this group right here? And somebody said they're called Play School, PSK. And I was like, PSK? Can you explain to me like what's PSK history to San Diego?
Well, it's actually Play School Society, so it's PSS. So
Oh,
yeah, that's like Bug Eye Bandit and his group. So you know, like yeah, some of them like house and some of them great.
yeah.
Unless I'm talking about somebody else, if it's like, you know, another crew, there was also like Blue Without a Bow, which is like Orco, Alien, his crew, and other people in Southeast San Diego, and you know, those other guys like Charlie Rock and Nico and Jack and
Yeah.
out here. San Diego has a pretty nice history with as far as hip hop dancing, you know, going into breaking, you know, after about 92, 93. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the San Diego scene is it still strong how it was in the 90s or is it kind of like?
Well, the thing about San Diego back in the 90s was that it was really tight knit, just all of hip hop. You know, the writers hung with the DJs, and the DJs hung with the B-boys, and the B-boys hung with the MCs, and it was just this unity with everything, you know.
Yeah.
But like everywhere else in the world, you know, kind of like they have their, like, you know, like scene, and then the B-boys and the B-girls have their choreo dancers have their own scene, poppers have their own. Everything's so divided, so, you know, concealed and having their own scene and having their own identity. It's not just hip hop. Like everything that used to make up hip hop was so close and tight knit in the 90s. They all have their own scene. You have the club DJs and you have the scratch DJs and the, you know what I mean? Like there's different types of artists, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that, back in the day, it was just one generation. It was just like, you know, kids all the way 20-year-olds. That was like the age factor. There was nobody above like 20 something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's true.
And now it's like you have the kids, you have the teenagers, you have the people in college, and then you have the people that are, you know, 20 to 30. Then you got the 40-year-olds, and you even got 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
50-year-olds now. So
50 years old.
you got a whole plethora of different people that are in different stages of their life and other shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, Cros, you brought that to my attention. Now that I think about it, it was only really just one. Now it's like there's so many levels to it. Like right now, I think it's beautiful that I got a chance to even see like all of it, you know, come together too. You know, because
Yeah, we're in the middle of it just growing up. You know, we got to watch it grow. You know, and
yeah,
just still being able to be involved and you know, everybody from different generations and me still continuing to do events and being, you know, what I do in the scene. Like, I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we're still able to do that, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people, you know, a lot of people will come into the scene and go out and do their own thing. And then they try to come back and, you know, out of nowhere, they're just like demanding this respect or whatever. Like, it's not really how it works. You know, you got to like integrate, you got to do stuff for the scene. You got to meet participants now, and you got to like give them their credit and their due and respect, and you get yours in return eventually. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of a give and take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you on that. Cros, I wanted to ask you too. I remember a couple of years ago, you were taking a lot of you was getting a lot of hate on Facebook, bro. And I used to think to myself like, why is all these dudes going after Cros though, bro? I mean, people was writing like stories, and I was thinking to myself like how did you personally feel about that? Like, how did you deal with that?
I don't remember anybody writing stories, but I just don't really. I mean, I've come to learn that most people that are just like talking shit or being vocal, being negative, a lot of them just want attention. You know, and
just want attention, huh?
And it's a cry for help a lot of times. And you know, I'm always down to help, man. But you know,
yeah, you are.
If it gets down to the point where it starts becoming disrespectful, then I just flip a switch, and then I'm just not fucking with you at all. So sometimes, you know, what I mean, I try to not to get to that level, but I mean, there's only so much you could say, you know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, I just don't really pay too much attention to that because I have too much to be thankful for, and I have too much
Yeah.
on now and continuing to do. And, you know, I have a 5-year plan. I have a 10-year plan for myself, at least, you know, and the future is looking bright for the dance. So, you know, I just hope that happens. Like everything in the past, like left in the past, you know?
Yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any wrongs that I have to make right, I'll do it. Like, you know, if I did something wrong to somebody, but if it's just like just words thrown in the air, it's just not attention, bro. Like,
Yeah.
good for you, you know. It's not my fault that some people didn't go nowhere. It's their fault, not mine. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And that's no
I feel you on
disrespect. That's
that.
no disrespect. I'm just spitting real. Like I don't have any there's no hate in those words. Like it's just, you know, like that's just is what it is. You know, if you ain't going nowhere, it ain't my fault. You know.
I personally, I'm definitely with you on that.
Mm.
I think anybody that's really into breaking, like if you want to create something, I think you don't have to hate on nobody to get props. You can just like you can start your own movement. I've done it many times. I'm sure you've seen it, like with the snake fist, with the t-shirts. Like you can create your own movement. You don't have to
There's
sit
so
here and bash
look,
somebody.
look. There's so many ways to, you know, create income or, you know, start movements and do your own thing. And you know what? If there's no leverage and it doesn't grow, then maybe what you thought it would have been isn't really what you thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, like you don't have to blow out somebody else's candle to make yours brighter. You know,
Oh, I
we
like that.
we could all shine together. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, you know,
I like that.
this man, like, there's lanes for everything. You know, like, you know, people get mad.
Hmm.
Like I look at everything is a highway. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the fast lane or if I'm in the middle lane and then there's another lane created, I'm not gonna look over there and just hate that there's another lane. I would be like, cool, there's another lane to switch to if we need to. You know what I mean? So like, there's so many different lanes now to be able to participate in, and you know, you gotta just give it just due. And people are just living the dream like you are. Like, you gotta make and create and fix with everybody that it grows. You know.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like that, Cross. That makes sense though. Like, I like that what you say. You don't have to blow out nobody's candle, you know. Because I remember when I first got into breaking, it was fun seeing everybody, stuntman, you know, Cusser, like Breeze, like even you, like everybody. I would come across you, and we will always just give each other head nods. And
Mm.
that's one thing I've always respected about you. Every time that I've seen you in the last 20 something years, you never shine me off. You never just like say, oh, you know what? That's why, like, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would see you everywhere, and every time, even if we didn't talk, you would like give me like a head nod. And this is like a 20-year period.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've always respected about you. I've never heard anything that people say, you know what, Cross is talking about Mikey-Ice. Every time I seen you, it was always a positive vibe, though, you know. And I just wanted to share that with you. That I really appreciate that about you as a person, and
Yeah.
I want to give you your props, though, too. Like, you don't have to pass away, you know, for people to say, you know what, like, oh, this guy was such a good guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather like say it now,
They're
you know, while you're alive.
here, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I appreciate you that you've been around that long, and you share the stories of like where we was at, like more than I would probably share them. But I always look back at them and I have a smile on my face. Like, dude, I remember that night. I remember I think I got like Head Spin Flare for the first time at that jam, and I was flossing it, and like, you know, like those are memories that last a
yeah,
lifetime. You know what I mean? I remember getting continuous flares for the first time. I remember I could only do one for the longest time, and I like tried and tried at my friend's, you know, living room, and finally I got like two.
yeah,
I got two. I was like, oh, I could do these 2, 3, 4, and I was like, oh, I got it, yeah, like, you know, and just those
yeah,
that's those times are like when you bring up like those stories from like the night like 93, 94, like that's what comes up in my mind. Like, damn, I remember those days. I remember being in the garage or somebody's living room and practicing my ass off, you know. So,
I like that battle that you did at the airport when it was you, and Mosquito and
Oh,
Tails.
oh, that
Yeah,
was
you guys were about
that was at Pro-Am in the hotel lobby.
on the hotel.
Yeah, that was a hotel lobby.
Everybody went crazy when you hit the shoulder freeze on them,
Yeah,
and I remember everybody just started jumping up and down, and that was a pretty hard move because that was like cement though too, bro. Like that wasn't like wood floor.
yeah. I mean, I kicked it with like Sean and Caveman, so like those guys, kind of, and Vietnam. Those guys were doing all those shoulder moves, so kind of
Yeah,
got their steez and kind of flipped it on my own. You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah.
So you going on? So this is going to be 24 years that you've been doing freestyle session.
Yep, 24-year anniversary.
So are you just going to just keep going as long as you can? Do you have like a time period where you just get to a certain point and you just stop doing freestyle session?
I don't know. We'll see. I know for a fact I'm gonna do the 25-year anniversary. Haven't really done too much planning after that. You know, I'm gonna do the crew battle, and then, you know, I don't know, man. I've had so many different thoughts.
Okay.
Am I gonna walk away? Am I gonna still be around? Am I gonna have somebody else do the event and I just pop in when the event's happening, or help curating it? But like, you know, like time, you know, you only have a certain amount of time in a year, or, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, like, breaking is way different now, and, you know, it's going into the Olympics, and I feel like, you know, part of me feels like I've done what I needed to do to get where we're at this point. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. We'll see. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do this year. I'm gonna do next year. And continue to do the tour.
Okay.
Continue to do the tour as until we run out of funding, I guess you could say, and, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Are
You know.
are you gonna add the B girl category this year or next year? Or you took it out.
Yeah, we did the solo B girl and the solo B boy in Florida this year.
Okay.
So the winners went to the World WDSF World Championships. That's going to happen in France in December.
Yeah.
So no, like, it's crazy. I don't know how it even ended up on my page, but it was listed as one of the battles, and I finally took it off the other day. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year I'll add it back to the main battle. It's just we did the solos already, so I don't want to do 2 solos in a year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have a category next year. You know, like, my goal is to find. You know, we have a venue that has 3 rooms, so there's a lot to be able to do. And so, like, sometimes I gotta cut things out and add things. Like, we added the kids battle, we added the 40 and up. So, you know, those are all inclusive. You know, B girls, B boys, they do all that. You know, and then the 5-on-5. You know, there's room for B girls in every crew. You know what I'm saying? So there could even be a crew
Yeah.
of B girls. You know, that's happened. We've had
Oh, that would be
had
dope.
an all
Yeah.
B girl crew make it to the top. Like, I want to say 8 or 4 at Freestyle Session back in the day too. So we even had an all female Queen of Queens one Freestyle Session Taiwan. I think like 2012 or something, and they roasted all the guys. You know, so like, so I would love our crew of girls, like females, just kill it. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
possibilities
You,
are endless,
you,
but yeah.
you know what I like about the Rebel that they did this year is when they had basically they had the new school versus old school. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I've thought about it for like a exhibition or something, but, you know,
Yeah, like an exhibition.
yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff like exhibition wise, I just leave for other events to do. You know, like, I feel like Freestyle Session, we do certain things, and that's what we do. Like, we just stick to what's good, what's good. You know,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
I'll just switch up the program, and that's just what we're gonna run with for the particular year or whatever. You know, like I said, we did the rocking battle before, we did the top rock battle before, and those are all cool at its time. You know what I mean? You know, some I felt like weren't as spectator friendly as a lot of other events. You know, so we just kind of like try things out. If they work, they work. If they don't work, you know, like, I mean, other events are more than welcome to do all those things too. You know, so
Right.
yeah.
Okay. I got one final last question for you, Cros. I wanted to ask you, what was the most memorable battle that you witnessed with your own eyes that you say, you know what, like it goes down in history book for you? Like, what was the battle that you seen that you was like, you know what? Out of all the battles that you seen in the world, where you was like, you know what? That battle right there was probably like it was like epic for you.
Probably at the time for me, like what my
Hmm.
skill set was, and just my like, oh my god, this is freaking happening. You know, like it's probably Renegades versus Seven Gems at Oracle's Jam.
Oh, I missed that one though, bro. That was Battle Zone. I didn't
Yeah,
go to that,
yeah, that shit was.
but I heard that Sway he did something to Asia and Easy Rock got pissed off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then it ended up closing the battle up. But man, up until that point, man, that battle was super lit. So you know,
Yeah. You know what's one for me though is when Soul Control battle Abstract Flavor and it got so hot that they actually had to shut down. They had to stop breaking and wipe the floor. And then that's when Tyrell did the Spidey swing.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that battle right there was crazy because I've never seen Sean do the air track to 90 and Cujo did the air track to the Turtles, and
I remember I was at that event. That's the first event I promoted freestyle set. It was like a event.
oh, you was there?
Yeah, yeah,
You remember how hot it was that day?
yeah, man, that was crazy. They did Unity.
It
It
was
was the same venue
yeah.
for Unity's in LA, so it was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. All right, Cross.
Yeah,
Is there any last things that you want to share before we go? I just want to say thank you for this time. I really appreciate it.
word up, man. Thanks for having me. Just, you can follow me on social media. My shit's right there. I am Cross One or FSS
Hmm.
Worldwide. Also, you can check out a lot of footage on Stance Elements at Stance Elements, and then yeah, freestylesession.com. I still have all my merch on there. I'm printing all kinds of shirts and all that, memory stuff, and still doing board. You know, check out the events nationwide. I mean, wherever you're at, there's going to be something close by. And just represent at all events, man. Like Moy's doing his thing with Break Free, and Zeku's doing his thing in Miami, and Gravity's doing his thing in Arizona, and all the other homies are nationwide are doing stuff, and it's just a fruitful scene. Ronnie's over in Las Vegas doing his thing.
Yeah,
Got a lot of stuff, and yeah, just represent, man.
breaking's looking good though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I didn't think that. Well, I never thought it was gonna slow down, but just like how everybody's just taking like charge of what they're doing, especially with breaking MIA. Like I'm very impressed with Zeku though, bro. Breaking MIA.
Mm-hmm.
And his team, bro, like they're just going to people and going to events and just battling with the teenagers. I like that, bro. That they got the young guys
Yeah,
involved. And
yeah. I was
I, I
at Little Rock's event last week, and like
oh yeah,
the Vegas guys, like ATN and them, they had a group of kids, and I mean, they've been teaching them right, man. Like they were battling in the ciphers before, and I mean, I've
hmm
probably seen more cipher battles in that little kids room than I've seen the last year or 2 years. So yeah, man. Like if if you're getting a little older, you got to find these like new crop of kids, man, and teach them everything that the next generation
yeah,
got better off than what we're at. And I'm not even just talking just breaking. I'm talking like real life skills, like all those skills I talked about earlier. You got
yeah,
to pass those down so the next generation is not going through all these trials and tribulations that we went through. Like shoot, if I had somebody that like me telling 18-year-old self what I tell myself right now, like, probably I'd be great. I'd be retired by now.
I would have done a lot of things different though too, Cross. Like how you said, if I had like Gemini Man, if I could look at myself now
Yeah.
and a younger version with me, I would have been saving. I would have done a lot of stuff though, but
Save.
I was just so hype on breaking that I was just like, you know what? Let's just go, bro. On empty, driving to San Diego. You know what I'm saying? Driving to San Diego and coming back the same night.
Yeah. Saving and just, investing and all kinds of stuff. Man. I probably would have went on
Yeah,
half as less trips, but at the same time, we go through all those things because we invested in ourselves. We invested in our mental
yeah,
health. Like if we didn't stuck at home at ourselves, we missed out. you know,
yeah. True, true.
so yeah, man.
All right, Cross. Thank you, man, for your time, and I'll see you at Freestyle Session,
Yeah.
November the 13th and 14th, right?
Yep. And then the 12th, I think there's an event that Flag's doing in the park with Lean Rock. I think it's King of What. And then he has a
Oh, where's that gonna be at?
I want to say MacArthur Park, but some park in LA.
Because I live by MacArthur Park. I live like a block away from MacArthur
Yeah,
Park.
if you go to DJ Flag's page, the flyer is right there. And he
What?
has Jungle Fire plan, so it's going to be all for free. And I'm sure like everybody that's going to Freestyle Sessions is probably going to go there, so it's going to be crazy. So
Yo, that's crazy. I wish you could come out to my event. I'm doing an event on November 20th.
okay,
It's gonna be small, but you know.
yeah, if I'm around, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I try to support everybody's events, you know. I mean, but there's only one of me, and sometimes I'll be out of town and you know
Yeah.
busy. But you know, I try to represent as much as I can, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cross. Thank you for that, though, brother. And I'll be seeing you in LA soon.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, then. Peace.
Peace.